back to TEW 2016, The Branding Solution, and we are here on Monday Night Raw, where we have the final of the Intercontinental Tournament to see who will face The Miz at Capital Punishment between Luke Harper and Xavier Woods. But to start with, we're going to have some pre-show action, where we are going to have DIY picking up a victory. Once again, simple, effective. I then gave Baron Corbin a victory. We're reluctantly going to keep trying with Corbin. He beat Ruben Vidal, who, again, I always say is my star of the future. We then have the Ascension defeat the Slide brothers. I think they're brothers, maybe cousins. One day I'll learn. We have Apollo Crews picking up a victory over Bubba Ray. Raisins will appear soon on this reason. Not needed on the main card at the moment, Apollo. We then have the Ring Kings defeat Rhino and Biff Busick. I thought I'd see what Biff was like, and I believe that was a good enough rating for my liking. We then gave Del Rio a victory. I believe that's needed for where I'm taking Del Rio. And we move on to Collateral Damage picking up a victory. We found out Griffiths has good chemistry with Curtis Axel after we lost Ryback. So we thought we'll give Griffiths to Curtis Axel as a partner. He's coming along nicely, and Axel could move to the next level and him revert to a bodyguard figure. And then Pentagon Jr. defeats Ultimo Dragon. All this on the pre-show, slightly long. And I believe Dalton Castle winning is the final pre-show match. We start the show with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens going face to face in the middle of the ring, talking each other's title up, talking about how they will go and become the Universal Champion, or what's the term going to be? The World Champion. The World Universal Champion. Maybe we'll use that term. But then Finn Balor arrives on the scene holding the briefcase, saying, "One of you might be the first. Maybe I will be." So Finn Balor is teasing that he may cash in the Money in the Bank sooner than expected. And it's a hell of a way to start the show. The Usos defeat System X. Pete Dunne is fit again now, so we gave him a match. It's not the most important that they have won or lost. I just need the Usos to get over a little bit more, because I feel my pay-per-view match between the Usos and the Certified G's, who they attacked last week, could be a surprise package for the tag team division. If I can get them all up to the mid-60s, early 70s, we might get a real good match between the two. That has been put in for Capital Punishment as well. Well, Kurt Angle defeats Jay Lethal in a cracking match. I was tempted to actually give Jay Lethal a victory here, but I've got Kurt Angle going up against Daniel Bryan at the next pay-per-view, and I don't want him on a losing streak to guys I'm trying to put to the next level, so this made sense, because it makes Jay Lethal look fantastic as well, which is what the plan has always been. And afterwards, Baron Corbin comes out and joins in the beatdown of Jay Lethal, after, again like last week, but Daniel Bryan makes the save, and sort of win that with a challenge. Daniel and Jay Lethal say, "Next week Corbin and Angle face us, stop your sneak attacks, we'll see who is the best." So that's set up for next week. In our next match, we have Angelo Dawkins picking up a victory over Bo Dallas. I pulled the trigger on making Dawkins the number one contender. It's a strange pick, but I want to see what we can do with this TV title. I feel there's a lot of potential with a lot of the undercard, but I've got a lot in tag teams at the moment, so I could not break tag teams up, but use tag team competitors. But for now, we're just using the guys who aren't quite what you call main eventers. They're kind of the jobbers, but I like what we're doing with them. And afterwards, they both cut a promo on each other. In our next match, we got a fantastic rating. John Morrison defeats Roderick Strong, but Del Rio attacked Roderick Strong during the match. Not sure, no one knows why. And afterwards, Del Rio grabs Roderick, hits the cross armbar, and refuses to let go, trying to take out Roderick's arm. This is going to lead to a match between these two at Capital Punishment. I pulled the trigger on not giving Roderick Strong the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental last week. As I said before, when I did the tournament, he was my personal pick to actually win it and go on to face The Miz. But I changed my mind. Then I was going to give him Money in the Bank, and I changed my mind. I want to build him a bit slower, so it's one of these surprise title matches down the line, which is going to be slightly more difficult for him because we are going to be only having 1 title now after SummerSlam, because Triple H is not happy. We are unifying him, so Roderick is going to slip down the card slightly without meaning to, and we are going to also have a draft. I'm hoping to make it very random again. I am going to do just 2 from each show from different levels of the card, so 2 main eventers, 2 upper mid cards, 2 mid carders, and that's it. That's going to swap. So it's only going to be a 6-person, as well as 2 call-ups each from NXT. We go backstage, well, not backstage, we're in the middle of the ring, and a New Day are there. They're all saying how Xavier Woods is going to beat Luke Harper and go on to face The Miz, and Kofi and Rocky Romero are going to take on the Bucks, put the Bucks back in their place. And the Bucks also come out and say, well, you 3 clowns are going to take our gold. You think you're going to take The Miz's gold? You're nothing. You're never going to get through us. You still have to get through that monster first, Xavier. So that's sort of a good tease. And then we have Rocky Romero defeat Matt Jackson. I believe I was meant to have this happen last week, but I put Matt Jackson to win. So I don't want to put Kofi in these matches. I want to use Rocky to promote him. And I think Nick's slightly more over than Matt. And next up, The Miz and John Morrison are backstage, and they see Luke Harper walk past, and they look kind of scared. And then they see Xavier Woods walk past, and they kind of just laugh. You made it to the final. Sort of the attitude towards him. So just pumping up the match. We then have a 3-on-3, which just continues what we're calling the American brand, which is Swagger and Titus O'Neil, which started last week. And we put in American Alpha, who I'm trying to push. As you can see, they are slightly more over than Sam Elias and No Way. And Jack Swagger's well over, which is really impressive at the moment. I do feel like if I put the right people on Shockwave, we could have a real shock on that show. Because at the moment, this show is too stacked. We then have Triple H. He's got his team for Capital Punishment in the ring. And for the 4-on-2, it's going to be Orton, Big E, Dean Ambrose, and Kevin Owens. The challenge is, if anyone is man enough to accept joining Rollins and Reigns, they're welcome to. But if you have a match set already, you're not having it. We've also announced that last week that Ziggler will face Finn Balor for the Money in the Bank briefcase, as Ziggler joined the Authority. And Ambrose needs to prove himself, so he faces Finn Balor and loses. by the coup de grace. An 81 rating, solid. I'm happy. I think I might have put it on storytelling. I didn't, never mind. I'm surprised now. I thought they would both have good psychology, but never mind. We then have Harper as Edwards putting themselves over before their big match in the video, just sort of looking at what this means to them. And then Xavier Woods defeats Luke Harper to become with a quick roll up. Big important that. Become the new #1 contender for the Intercontinental title. And then The Miz comes out and congratulates him, saying, well, you get yourself a title match. Maybe you can follow in the footsteps of Kofi or Big E and actually deserve to be a champion. But you ain't taking my belt. And then Morrison jumps in from behind as Miz continues his insults to Xavier Woods. And in our main event, we went for it. We had Rollins and Reigns joining forces to face Dolph Ziggler and Big E, who should have good chemistry, I would have thought, but they don't. Rollins and Reigns both get 100 for performance, and they win. Big E took the pin, though. That was the key word for this. It had to be Big E. A bit of lack of a few things, but still. But then we go to the next segment. Kevin Owens, Big E and Dolph Ziggler. I was going to make it all, but I changed my mind. Come out to attack Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And Dean Ambrose gets sent out by Triple H to make it 4-on-2. But Dean Ambrose stops. Sees that it's Rollins and Reigns. And just joins them. Attacks the other three. They clear the ring. And the Shield have reformed. And now he's just the badass, and he's a face. The Shield are back. It will be suddenly 3-on-3 at Capital Punishment. Dean Ambrose has been getting abused by Triple H. He hasn't won in a while. He needs freshening up. I know he only turned about 6 months ago, but the Authority has kicked out Rollins, who was teaming with Ambrose. The reason why Ambrose joined. And now he's seeing the champ the potential of losing. So the Shield are back, and we end the show with a 92 rated show. So that's why it's so overstacked. There's too much quality in there. And you look at that for a show. We didn't have Kevin Owens, who's the second most over, Brock Lesnar. It's ridiculous to think who we didn't have on the card. So we're going to go back to the main screen and look at some news. We are now back, so let's read the news. Dwayne Johnson is going to appear in a time travel movie. So yeah, that's fun. Good job we don't have him on the contract anymore. We have the usual development complaints and Fandango for a new contract. Let's see, how popular is Fandango? He's 35. He's not that popular, let's be honest, but he did make the top 300 or 500. What we're going to do is we're going to do the paper appearance deal. And if he signs, he signs. If he doesn't, so what? With Tyler, Rex and Derek Bateman as former tag team partners. Interesting. That's what I'm doing with the talent I'm not desperate for. So if somebody wants to run and jump and take them, they can. So far we're going to look at the storylines that we've created. Well, we have a few, so a 91, a 68, a 80. A lot of these are just solo people. I did put them all in there. We are going to take Luke Harper out of that. And yeah, everything seems pretty smooth. That's our highlight, of course. And the next thing is this creative control, who is popular. Big E's made it back onto that list. Again, it suddenly popped back to all the other shows. And Bo Dallas is on there worrying this. I've got to give him a few wins. And the truth. But that's going to be it for this show. We'll come back and we'll do an episode of SmackDown. Thank you for watching.